This news update is brought to you by
You got an upgrade for Christmas.
If you're feeling lucky, you could win some money.
Upgrade for Christmas.
$200,000 in cash and prizes. With Lime, you could win some money. It's Lime's Christmas lottery. 250 winners this Christmas, oh yeah.
Sign up or upgrade to super fast broadband, Lime TV, e-billing, a data plan. Top up $15. Purchase a handset or text 4263 to enter.
Upgrade for Christmas.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update. It's Friday, December 19th, 2014. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kamar Jordan. We begin on a sad note. At this hour, one of Barbados' most prominent evangelists, Reverend Holmes Williams, is dead. The founder and retired senior pastor of the People's Cathedral passed away just before 11 o'clock this morning at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Earlier this month, Williams, who was being treated for chikungunya and dengue fever, was admitted to the intensive care unit. Williams, a gifted evangelist, has conducted many crusades in most of the English and French-speaking Caribbean islands, as well as North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa, seeing thousands come to Christ. And at this hour, we at Barbados Today join with the church family in expressing sympathy. In other news, it's time for the government of Barbados to promptly pay outstanding income tax and value-added tax refunds. The call is coming from the Institute of Chartered Accountants as it weighs in on the ministerial statement delivered by Finance Minister Chris Sinclair on Tuesday. ICAB notes that with the consolidation tax, the municipal solid waste tax, and the tax on bank assets set to yield $91.7 million in revenue, the government will collect more money than is now required by law to refund taxpayers. With respect to the general state of the economy, ICAB is, however, upbeat about the country's growth prospects. It praises the government's efforts to lower the fiscal deficit and welcomes new projects in tourism and the energy sectors, which are expected to generate $1.5 billion in foreign direct investment. ICAB is also anxious for the government to roll out the proposed Fiscal Responsibility Act next year, which it says will help significantly to improve the management of public finances. Meantime, two political activists are taking the government to task for extending its 19-month fiscal adjustment program. In fact, David Commission and Robert Bobby Clark say the move by the Friendo Stewart administration shows that the Barbados economy is going nowhere fast. Speaking to Barbados Today, Mr. Commission was adamant that the country is not battling an economic crisis, but a crisis of leadership.
We don't seem to be going anywhere in Barbados. This is 7 years now of this Democratic Labour Party government, and there's been an abysmal lack of leadership. And even worse than that, for 7 years they have fed the Barbadian people this notion that we are helpless, there's nothing we can do, that we're in the throes of an international recession, and all we can do is wait and hope. And as a result of 7 years of that kind of rhetoric, it has demotivated, dispirited, and depressed the Barbadian population. So we are at a low now, and there's absolutely nothing in the minister's statement that offered any real leadership to the country, any real hope.
Meantime, Clark contends that there's a clear mismanagement of the public purse. He's also frustrated by the fact that Barbadians remain silent on the issue.
I'm disappointed because he knows no better. I'm disappointed with the Barbadian people for not rising up and throwing him out. That they have a right. There's nothing wrong with marching to get rid of a government. There's nothing says that a government must last for 5 years and wait for an election. Because this government is hoping that somehow the economy will turn around by the tourism system, by sandals, and these so-called things. They're hoping, but this is year 3 of that hope. And hasn't started.
Health officials are welcoming a new University of the West Indies study on spending. Yesterday, the chief health planner, Samuel Dean, revealed that health services cost the country a whopping $732.4 million in the 2012-2013 fiscal year, with government footing most of that cost. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Cheryl Allen, says the study now provides officials with clear understanding of how to allocate funds in the sector.
This evaluation then of this National Health Economic exercise is vitally important at this juncture. It will allow us to measure health spending in the sector and to analyse the flow of financial resources among all health sector actors, inclusive of the private sector. This information may then be used by us policymakers to examine viable alternatives for financing of the National Health Services and designing innovative revenue-generating models of programs and services.
In other news, 2 men who were injured in a shooting incident in Sergeant's Village, Christchurch, last week will appear in court today on gun and drug charges. 17-year-old Philip Malachi Harris of Bartlett Tenantry will answer charges of causing serious bodily harm, as well as those arising from the use of an illegal firearm. 41-year-old Renee Griffith of Lodge Road, Christchurch, will also answer to charges of possession with intent to supply and trafficking of 4.4 pounds of cannabis. The duo was arrested after being treated at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for gunshot injuries following the incident in Smith Corner last Thursday. A third man was also injured in that incident. There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
To our Caribbean neighbors now, Trinidad and Tobago is keeping a close eye on falling oil prices, and the Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, assures that there's no need for undue concern. With oil prices now below $60 a barrel, Persad-Bissessar says she's already discussed the situation with the Finance Minister, Larry Hawaii. She also says there will be no cutbacks in recurrent expenditures such as wages and salaries. Neither will there be any reductions to the national security, health, care, and social programs. On the international scene, shock grips Australia as police investigate the death of 8 children ages 8 months to 15 years. They were discovered at a house in northern Queensland. The incident comes a mere 4 days after a deadly hostage siege at a cafe in Sydney, in which 3 people were killed. We get more now in this BBC report.
In this suburban house, they discovered the bodies of 8 children, stabbed to death. The youngest just 18 months, the oldest 15. Officers were called to the house soon after 11 o'clock in the morning. The mother of 7 of the children was taken to hospital where she's being treated for stab wounds. Police have not said if she's a suspect.
We have a 34-year-old woman assisting us currently with the circumstances surrounding this tragic event that's occurred here.
A relative who said she was a cousin of the family said it was another of the women's children, a 20-year-old man, who had first alerted police.
And my family's back home, they're sitting there waiting. It's in it on the news. I can't say anymore, I'm sorry.
Neighbours said the family had not been in trouble before. Australia's Prime Minister Tony Abbott called the killings an unspeakable crime and said that all parents would feel a gut-wrenching sadness.
And on that note, we come to the end of our Barbados Today afternoon update. We'll be back again this evening. But until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or better yet, you can like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on iZimwe Media if you're out and about, we're in bus terminals, or via Screenplay in supermarkets or a gas station near you. You can also tune in to channel 101, that's on Lime TV, to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Kamar Jordan. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you again this evening.
This news update is brought to you by
I won for me to me.
For me?
Yes. You don't need speakers, right?
Upgrade to win every week with Lime. Sign up for Lime TV or broadband or purchase an iPhone 6 or Samsung Note 4. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.